Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So yesterday, I did my first pass at this side here, or more accurately, the area by the roots, just probably right up here. I see a few things I want to fix there, but more importantly, when I was double checking how things look from the center up to the side here, I did not like the way that her left eye was moving. Her left, not my left. So I think I need to make some adjustments here, and I also noticed when I was poking around, I do not think that these were supposed to be lowered like this, or maybe they were, and I'm making a mistake, but we'll find out. Hello, Vivi. Happy Halloween to you too. How are you doing today? Although, no, it looks like that might have been intentional. Gotta go bald for a second here, so I can check some things. Okay. No, it probably was intentional that I had that set like that. Okay. I can accept it. Okay, hair back on. I was just taking a look at eyes here, because this one's not moving quite right when I send it up here. So I gotta poke at that just a little bit here. Or at the very least, I don't like how it moves right now. So I'm gonna be testing out some things and see if I can't get it looking a little bit better here. See which way it needs to go. Yeah, something like that's a little bit better. How is that with the other directions? Not bad. So I'm gonna take a moment to look at that. Do you have any plans for Halloween, Vivi? Like, my kids do plan to go trick-or-treating, but I will probably be asleep for that, because I go to bed very early. And staying up that late would be pretty rough on my current sleep schedule. But it's okay, they'll have their grandparents and a lot of other people over to come make sure that they have a good time. Alas. Well, at least I'll be able to take a few pictures. That's at least something fun to do. Oh my. Let me... Yeah, that happens sometimes when I adjust translations on a corner. Sometimes it makes the cardinal direction nodes kind of freak out a little bit, but looks like we're all good. Yeah, there we go. And let's see, eyebrow I don't think is in the right place here. I gotta slide him over a little bit there. Yeah, that's looking a bit better. What kind of costume are you thinking about taking pictures in? Oh, very nice. That is definitely a neat one. I've seen lots of designs for him, but that's like one of the OG cool character designs for me. Alright, doing a little bit better on the eyes here. Not freaking out nearly as much. Just gotta go mirror them over here. Did I not? Well, I'm gonna go do that real quick. Just mirror things over here. And I think I had a change to the eyelid here, so I want that to be here too. Ah, I see. Oh dear, was it something with the way the wig was put together, or is it just that long hair is hard? Okay, should be good there now. Yep, can't relate. Anime characters have so much hair. So much hair. That's why I have to spend an eternity rigging it. I can also understand being concerned about having very long hair, because my hair is, like, literally knee length, but I like it too much to cut it. I have anime hair in real life. And let me tell you, it is a lot of hair. Just trying to find where the right eye is here. Okay, here we go. Just need to make sure that all of these things are where they should be. Nostrils are fine. Yeah, there we go. So because I made some changes to the eyes here, I do need to actually change a bunch of stuff on this side. But I think the only other thing I changed was the eyebrow. So let's go find an eyebrow. Yeah. Ah, yes. They are definitely something. I've only worn one, But I have enough hair that I guess it acts as a cushion, so it wasn't that bad. Shoving it all up there was an adventure, though. I had to use lots of hair clips. I don't know if you ever posted any of those pictures online, but if you have, or if it's something you're comfortable doing, I would love to see them. So just let me know if you're going to. I'll take a look. Alright, and I think that takes care of my eye-related problems for the time being. I might still need to do a little bit of tweaking with how it is through, like, right here. But I already know that for the sake of this mask that I'm using to hide the headline in certain places, that I'm gonna need some more keyframes through here. I'm just doing the corners first before I start messing with anything else, because, things will get messy if I don't. It's just easier to do it this way. So that might be one thing that I have to touch up at the end. But for now, I think the eyes are fine, so I'm gonna go back to working with Shalom's endless pile of hair. Here we go. Just doing all the corrections that I want to do on this right side before I move on over to the left. So far, I think it's looking pretty good, but there's always a thing or two that I want to fix up. It's inevitable. My present self is just always so much pickier than my past self, so there's nothing I can do about it. Just gotta roll with it. Absolutely. Anime hair, definitely terrifying. Should have drawn more hair in my spooky picture yesterday. Spooky Inktober picture, that is. That's what I get for wanting to emphasize the violin instead of spookiness. So here, when I was looking at this strand, when I was moving the head upward from the left view here, I felt like it was... How do I say? It was like moving upward a little bit too much. So it looked like the hair was expanding a bit. So I'm trying to get that into a better place. This might be one where I have to alter the cardinal directions a little bit. Because... yeah. It was matching up the top before, but now it is not. Now there's just... it's going down, and it looks funny. So I'm gonna have to see what I can do with that. I'm gonna have to be checking both sides quite frequently, I think, in order to get this kind of shape right. Because I do think it needs to be just a little bit lower than it is in this here, just due to the angle that I have her head at. It's tilting back just a little bit. It's not super obvious yet because I haven't moved the hair on this side. But, that is the image in my head, at least. So I do need to find the right combination to make these two ends match up with each other. I do not feel like what I had at the start of today quite did that. So let's do some science. Let's see if I can figure out how this should all go together. Not going to worry too much about the shadowed area right now. I'm just trying to get this curve right. Don't mind the crunchiness. I'll get that to go away in a little bit. But first things first, just gonna get some of this stuff go in the right direction and get these shadows in the right place. There it goes. For some reason my mouse did not want to click on that. Not sure what was up with that, but it all worked out, so I guess it's fine. And then I remember liking this area from the top yesterday. Remembered it quite well. Because I actually liked the way it looked when I did it from the top side. Like, having the hair just completely cover the shadow, I thought it looked really nice. So now I just need to kind of get that back, but lower, I guess. Probably gonna be a little bit of trial and error while I find those right spots. Because, man, right here, it still looks a little, slidey. Very, very slidey indeed. Oh, well, I figured that out. Besides being Halloween, today is the last day of Inktober. So today will be the last picture I draw for this. And then I'll probably take a little bit of an art break before jumping into what I plan to draw for the anniversary event for Path to Nowhere. Got so many things I gotta draw. It's great. Just maybe a little bit tiring, but it's great. I feel great. Makes me wish I had more time and/or that I drew faster. On the bright side, all those speed paints I did actually will probably help with that. Can get my ideas down a bit faster now, and hopefully finish pictures a bit faster. But we shall see once I start drawing a little bit more seriously again. Oh, man. Okay, let me check it with the head far up here. Okay, I think I know what's going on. My head's feeling a little bit all over the place today. That's alright. Can go in here, I might just end up shifting topics a lot because my brain doesn't know what's going on. But, today's theme for Inktober was Landmark. And I have some ideas for it. Might do something spooky again. It is Halloween after all. Feel obligated to do a little bit of spooky stuff here and there. Currently, the image in my head is another mountain. These mountains are cool. Can also be spooky if you want them to be. Draw some more neat fantasy art. I like doing that. It's a good time. So let's see here. I'm gonna have to consult the mesh for where some of these things should go, I think. Okay, so that's... If we look at the mesh here, try to see what it's telling to us, we can see that the triangles are compressing together. Like you can see, especially around here, that all three of these are getting very, very close together, when that's not how they are here. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong, it's just something to keep in mind. Looks like it's the same for over there too, so I probably want to separate these guys a little bit here. It's probably related to some of my problems. And to be fair, I was using the brush quite a lot when moving this area around, so it's not too surprising that some of these vertices are not quite in the right place. Okay. So hopefully I have the shadow not squirming around quite as much. I think I'll have a little bit of an easier time figuring out the rest once I have this a little bit stronger. It's still squirming a bit here, but I think this is where I need to fix the hair in general, so... Okay, I see the path forward. Let's go. Pull this a little bit further over here. Let it cover a little bit more of her head. Hopefully emphasize that her head is turning to the left a little bit more strongly here. Something like that, maybe. Ooh, is it too strong? No, I don't think it's too strong. I just need to adjust the rest of the hair too. Okay, I had been holding off and going down the rest of the strand, just because I like to focus on the roots first, but I think it might be necessary to a degree here, because this needs to come, like, way over here in order to match up. And that'll affect the highlights here as well. Okay, that will need some adjustment, but it's already making the turn from the top look better. But I can do the rest of that adjustment a little bit later. Okay. Actually, no. Let's do it now. I changed my mind. Let's do it now. I'm just gotta round this out a little bit. Make it all floof out in the right direction. The real reason hair is so spooky. Gotta make all the floof happen in the right places. Okay, this time I actually think where I want to make some adjustment is on the left head turn. Because I think the level of thickness that the upper left had was actually looking about right. So let's see if I can make it look good from the left as well. I have kind of a similar idea. I kind of figured that I was going to have to change one of the cardinal directions for this. At least one. But yeah, now that it's a little bit thicker, once I clean that up, that should look pretty good. Okay, I do want to clean up the left before I do anything else. I want the cardinals to just always be in a state of finished. I think it's important because it means that I have a clear example of what is correct while I work on the corners. And even though I am having to make some adjustments in order to make them meet at the corner, you know, make the left and the up meet properly together, I still want them to be as correct as possible as I keep going. It'll make my life a little bit simpler later on. Oh dang, there's one more thing that's today. We get the last of our free pulls for Zero's banner, so I get to do my pulls today. We get to see if the gacha gods are kinder to me than they were with Yao. Here's hoping I do not have to go to 80 3 times to get everyone. I might actually have enough pulls saved up to do that. I haven't counted, but I will hope that it does not come to that. Because I'll be sad if I'm missing yet another sinner from my collection. I managed to have them all for so long, but man, that stroke of bad luck on Yao was just... It hurt, man. Oh, well, happy birthday, Enfer. You still have my favorite character design. Your dress is just way too cool. I can believe it. Definitely suits her just fine. Yeah, there we go. Doing a bit better. Do I have this shadow right here in the right spot? That's where I'm checking right now. That I can also believe. Not only is that kind of mermaid tail tight, it's very poofy at the bottom. Seemed like it'd be very hard to go up the stairs in. That's where you need some good old levitation superpowers. Man, the dedication of some cosplayers is pretty spectacular. Of just trying to walk around in a dress like that. It seems like it'd be really hard. Just so tight at the ankles. Alright, looks like I ended up needing to make a few more corrections through here. I think that's the downside to working on something for so long, is that if you revisit it, you can pretty much always find something to fix. That was one habit I had to break myself of with drawing, and that I could keep tweaking a single piece forever and ever. But at some point I had to just say, no, this is done. It is time to draw something new. I'd tell my brain to stop it. Brains can be very rude like that sometimes. But it's okay. I think I got the left head turned back in a state that I'm happy with, so now I will go back to working on the upper left. try to get this poofy in just the right way. Because I want to make this little spot right here just a little bit rounder. Just a little bit rounder. Okay. I think that is a little bit rounder. So let's see if that looks good on the left head turn now. Save for maybe some stuff over here, which I'm not worrying about yet. I'm only worried about it a little bit because I had to pull some shenanigans in order to get the top to look right. But there we go. Things are starting to meet up. Getting there. Getting there. Alright, let's try to get this edge lining up at the top now. And once it lines up at the top, then I will check the left. So I'm going to do one angle at a time here. It's like this little area is surprisingly complicated. But I think it's an important little spot to show 3D effect and how the head is turning. It's like, I still like that little bit that I did from yesterday where you just see all the shadow here. And then I turn the head over and it just gradually gets covered up, and I think that looks really good. In fact, I think I want it to be a little bit more covered up. So let's slide this back over here just a little bit more. There we go. Yeah. There we go. That's the kind of thing that can really bring a whole new dimension to your rig, pun intended. Just makes it look so much better. That was one thing that I struggled with some of my early experiments, was I could move everything and make it look, you know, fairly good, but for whatever reason, it just looked flat still. It didn't look like a turn, it looked like a piece of paper changing direction. And I didn't like that, so I worked very hard to figure out what to do about that. And it's little things like this that really just make it a lot better. In fact, you can even see it with the left head turn too. So you can see over here, we see not very many of the shadows at all, but then I tilt the head up, and we see a little bit more of what's going on underneath. And the good news is I think I have connected those two areas in this corner now. Hooray. And I think that was the only thing that I really had complaints with in this area. I just did not like how those two angles were lining up. And I think the rest of the problems are for when I start moving away from the roots. But for now, I am just concerning myself with the roots of her hair. Okay. So, this means it is time to head to the left side. What kind of issues do I have over here? Like, a lot of it looks pretty okay, but there are definitely some things I want to fix up. First of which is this little shadow area, like the gap in the bangs here. I think that very much needs to be cleaned up. Gonna make it a little bit wider than it is in the left head turn, and about the same size as it is, maybe a little bit smaller in the upward head turn. Something like that, maybe. Moving a bit too far over. As always, all of this is just a lot of little tweaks until I find the right combination that makes me happy. I'm sure someday it won't be quite as much trial and error as it is now. I'll actually kind of figure out what I'm doing, but until then, I'm just gonna keep trying things and see what happens. It's what I can do. Alright, I need a little bit of baldness here. Help me see what I'm doing. From here and here. Okay. Okay, yeah, so far so good. Gonna keep the baldness for now, while I continue to figure out what should be going on this strand here. It's just a little bit easier to see the edge of the strand while I'm working on it. If there's no other hair sitting around, just waiting to be distracting. So here I'm trying to get the shape of this strand coming down here correct, or at least the top part of it. I'm not sure if I'm going to go all the way down yet. But it was one thing that was bothering me a little bit when I was working on the front bang. I just did not feel like this angle was correct. The angles are very important. So very important. They're important for any bit of art, but I think they're especially important in rigging because the angles are very much what show you which direction the head is pointing. Okay. Gotta put the hair back on for a second here because I'm actually gonna concern myself with the bottom part of the strand here, and I think I will on this side as well. Because when I was looking at it today, I was realizing that I need to move like this entire strand over to the right. Or left, excuse me. Needs to go this way. That is left. Let me go ahead and hide all the little strands that come off of it for now. I will worry about them later. But that needs to move over quite a lot. And that tells me we're gonna hide a few more bits of hair here. Gonna hide all the hair that goes over her shoulder until I figure some of this out. Doing some big picture adjustment again. Hello, Luminance. How are you doing today? Right now, I'm just continuing my adventures in hair hell. Because when it comes to anime hair, there's a lot of it, and you can never escape it. Okay, the wrinkliness in this part aside, I think it's looking pretty good there. Let me hide it and take a look. Yeah. Okay. Make sure that it lines up correctly with everything else. Yes. Okay. Now I can straighten out the edges. Everything got a little bit wrinkly all throughout that, so gotta put it all back together. Oh my, that's a lot of weird spacing of the vertices here. Let me actually take a smaller brush and pull some of these out. They got a little bit compressed and grouped together. Ah, yes. I do 2D rigging, so it's a little bit different, but a lot similar ideas. I imagine that there's a lot of hair on anime models in 3D as well. Anime characters just have infinite hair. Oh, got a sneeze coming. One moment. Sneeze don't want to come out, but I won in the end. So, there we go. Back to doing hair. This way I don't have to just make very loud noises into the microphone. Okay. So here I'm trying to figure out where the edge of the hair goes. This commission, no. This is just something I am doing for fun. Would probably not use copyrighted material for commissions. It's like it'd be one thing if I drew it myself, but this is literally official art that I cut out and decided to rig. Official art from a game, to be more specific. Oh, thank you. I've just been wanting to learn a little bit more about this program, so I'm going in. It's been an adventure. But I've had a good time. I really do like the art in this game, so it's been a blast to work with. Very, very fun. It's just, you know, mountain of hair. So I've been doing hair for a very long time. Oh no. It's expanding. Yeah, I definitely can't have that. Okay. So, what I was talking about there is, if you watch this end here, between this highlight and the edge of the hair, it's like growing. It's expanding. So I have to send that back a little bit. And trying to pay very close attention to these things. So I'll move it back up here. It's like normally I don't go fully down the strand this early, but I actually kind of want to get these strands by her head. Or I guess I should say next to her eyes. Looking right. This entire little bit here should be a little bit further that way. Okay. Need to check on the tip there. Did I get that all in the right direction? Yes, but I also pulled it out too far. Gotta make it skinny. Made it too thick. Gotta make it skinny again. I think the hair behind here is confusing me again, so gonna hide it. Hello, Inochi2D. How are you doing today? And having lots of people to show up today. It's good to see all of you. Alright, now I need to get the tip of the strand lining up with everything else here. That might be too far. Let me be a little bit softer. There we go. How are things lining up now? Oh man, this is going to take a little while to fix, isn't it? It's okay. The strand always tends to be a little bit of a thing. Especially when I need to move it a lot like that. So let's get started. Let me make sure I like everything up at the top first. Because that will change some things. But so far I think the top is looking pretty good. That's alright. Studying for math exams is pretty important. So, good luck with your exam. I hope you do well on it. Yeah, I think the top part's looking good. So now, let's get the areas around the highlights looking the way I want them first, and then I can worry about the ends. I always like having the top done first, because it means that I have a good point to reference. Oh, excellent. Well, do you think you did well? But yes, as I work my way down the strand, I will be able to know that the parts above it are the way I want them to be, and so I can trust everything that I've done up there. And as long as I have the lower parts proportionate to the upper parts, I know that things are probably going to be correct. Oh. Well, math can be very difficult, yes. But still, I wish you luck. There we go. I'm trying to get this strand all lining up here. Trying to make it nice and smooth all the way down. Just have to decide if I like the way that it's rounding out here, which, when I put her head back on, I think I do. It's like when I zoom in really close, sometimes I can lose perspective in what's going on, and certain things don't look as good as they do when I zoom out. And of course, how it looks when I zoom out is far more important than when I'm zoomed into 700%. I only zoom into 700% because it's hard to grab the vertices otherwise. Alright. So let's see, when I zoomed out, I did notice a degree of sliding somewhere, but I can't remember where. Okay, that's why I was poking that strand. Needs to go a little bit more to the left. And a little bit further down, and the tip needs to come up. Because one other thing I'm being very conscious of is that I'm kind of angling her chin back. So the back of her head is going to be a little bit lower, or rather, this side of her head, the right side of her head, is going to be a little bit lower than the left side. So I'm trying to keep that in mind while I work, and that when I was working on stuff on this side, I wanted it to drop a little bit relative to how it is on the upward head turn. Whereas on this side, I want it to rise a little bit. So that's there in the back of my head while I poke at these things. And right now there's just a lot of little vertices on this strand. I was very particular about how I rigged all that, about how I meshed all this, wasn't I? Oh my. It's okay. I'm kind of glad that I put very detailed meshes on the area right near her head. Right near the face, more accurately. That's why I have lots of control over where each of these little pieces goes. I remember yesterday I was talking to myself about, should I have cut this hair more thoroughly? Like, did I cut it enough? And the answer is I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure if I should have cut it more or not. Some part of me thinks yes, but oh man, if I did, the hair would have been so much harder to work with. There just would have been so many more pieces to move around and whatnot. But I might have been able to get some nicer effects going. I don't know. And honestly, in a lot of ways, I don't think I ever can know. Not unless I decide to re-rig this from scratch someday. And that probably won't happen. It's funny, a lot of artists I know like to redraw old pictures to see how much they've improved. But I've never really felt the need to do that. Because for me, it's like I can look at my new pictures and they pretty much always look better to me. So I prefer to just draw new things. There's so many things I want to draw and I already don't have enough time. So why would I want to draw old stuff? That's just how I feel about it. Overall, I do think redrawing old art is a good exercise. It's just not one I tend to do. Especially if you're feeling down about how your improvement is going. Or if you feel like you're stagnating from where you were a year ago or something. I just don't have this problem, so I don't need a solution for it. Okay, things are starting to line up with the upward head turn a little bit better now. Just trying to get the last little bits of this strand into the right place. Why is her left side bald? Because I needed to hide the hair so I could work on the edge of this strand. It was harder for me to see with all the hair layers turned on. But it's there, I promise. See? It's there. They're just hiding right now. Also, it looks funny. It makes for good thumbnails later. Alright, looks like I'm in a place where I might have a few shenanigans to deal with. Because right now, once again, looking at this strand here, it looks like it's moving pretty okay when I compare it to the upward head turn. But on the left side, oh man, it shrinks super badly. So this leads me to the question of, is the problem the upward head turn or the leftward head turn? So that's something that I'm going to have to check. Because I do not think that these two states can coexist. One of them must be fixed. Okay, looks like it's the left. No, I did not forget to draw. Strictly speaking, not my art, so I couldn't forget to draw it. Like I said, it's official art from a game. I just cut it up. Cut it into a lot of pieces so I could rig it. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit better. Lining up better here. So how's it lining up here? Ah, perfect. Much better. Crunchiness aside, it's much better. Everything is coming to the right place here. Man, having to get real close to that edge there. But I think it's fine. Yes. I've thought about doing a bald toggle a few times, but then it's like... Then I'd have to fix, like, the shape of her head, because I have it totally wrong right now. And I'd have to do something with her ears. Because... I can't... Yeah. Right now I just have them sitting on top of her face. Because they're hidden behind hair. But, so I'd have to do a lot of extra work for a bald toggle, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. Oh man, actual bald Shalom game. I wonder if such files even exist. Honestly, it seems like something Zero would do. Just go in and make everyone bald. Alright, sending the details on this strand into the final phases, I think. It's looking pretty good. Just making sure everything lines up perfectly, and so far so good. I'm gonna pull out the very, very bottom here just a little bit. Like right there. This part goes up a little bit. Yeah. So it'll make that little tiny, tiny shadow there just a little bit longer. Felt like it was getting compressed a little bit. Still is, honestly. I'll just pull this down a little bit more. It'll make the triangles look a little bit nicer too, so there's that. Yes, I've seen people post that bug on Reddit. It's pretty funny. It's pretty amusing. Okay, I think that strand is good. Now I can do the strand in the middle. I guess it's less of a strand and more of a small clump. There's lots and lots of little details in this hair, which is why it takes so long to rig. So many little things to pay attention to. Oh my. That's quite a combination. Oh dear. See, bugs like that should probably be fixed, but they're still pretty funny. It's like I wouldn't want them there forever, but, you know, the occasional little visual bug like that can be kind of funny. Let me see, that is actually... okay. I had to make sure that the issue I was seeing here was actually on this strand. This edge here is looking pretty hard. I don't know why, though. I guess, is that just how it looks? I always have to check these things, but no, it's much softer here. Yeah. Okay, so I have to figure out why right there looks so hard. I guess it's the proximity to here, so I probably can't get away with leaving those vertices so close together. Oh. That is pretty sad. It seems like they've been having a lot of issues lately. Alas, poor QA duck must be working overtime. Yeah, we can blame her. It seems like something she'd do. Something about this turn here still leaving me a little bit unsatisfied with it. Let's see here. There's a few spots here that just not lining up correctly. Some parts are too high and some parts are too low, and there's just shenanigans all around here. Let's take a look. Okay, there we go. That's doing a little bit better. And I still see the sliding up in that kind of gap in her bangs here. So let's pull these vertices back upward. should fix the problem. Hopefully. I'll believe. Fixed some of the problem. Fixed the problem that I was looking at, but now there's just other ones. And that's normal too. Looking for something for too long and you just see problems everywhere. Always. Okay. I want to make this highlight a little bit beefier. So I'm moving the strand over just a little bit there. But I get the feeling the next few days is going to be me just poking out the side bangs. I was going to do all the rest first, but I guess my brain decided, no, we're doing this now. Can't say I blame it. This area is pretty important. Definitely want to make sure to be getting all of the highlights and all of the stuff near her face looking just as good as I can make it. I'm also noticing that an hour has passed and I barely even noticed. Time flies when you're having fun. And I think I can go for a little bit longer today. So let's try to get a little bit more of this bang done here. See if I can't at least get this top part looking the way I want it. All its little shadows and highlights and everything that goes into it. And as always, we don't mind the baldness. It'll go away eventually, I promise. Just don't acknowledge the baldness. It's fine, I promise. Okay. Just wanted to see if I could get away with pushing that in a little bit more. Yeah, that looks a little bit better now. Now if I can just get this strand to be just a little bit rounder here, all will be well. Just gotta stretch it out a little bit. See, it was getting all cramped. So now it should be the proper width. Let's see if the movement agrees. Yes, it does. What day do I expect to finish this? No idea. I'm hoping to finish it this year. You know, so before the new year, but I don't know. I get the feeling that the hair will take will probably take more time than the rest of everything combined. So I think once I get down to doing the body, everything will start going a little bit faster. So, I don't know. I have hope that I can finish it before the new year, but it'll probably be around that time. I do only stream for about an hour every day. So I only work on it for about an hour every day. And rigging takes a long time, and it's a lot of very detailed work. Yep. And yes, this is why I kept making, if I had the option to pick like a bald Shalom or something that just looked funny, I absolutely made that the thumbnail. Because I figure to get a lot of people to just go, what the heck is that? Alright, upper part is looking good. I'm very satisfied. We'll just leave her bald for a bit, though, with these just random strands of hair floating off. But I do think I should probably stop here for today. Need to get me some food. So, thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me on the social media platform of your choice, and I will take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye. And I agree, that was fun.